Okay, so order of operations. This is the method that we want you to follow. Again, this is not an explanation of why this works, it's an explanation of the method. So if you want to know why these methods work and why we have to follow things like BIDMAS, then ask your teacher or find out in the lesson. This is just an explanation of how we want your method to look and how it works. So first of all, A, over here, I'm going to write A. This is what we must understand. We need to understand the hierarchy of BIDMAS. So what I mean by that is the order in which we have to do operations. So we have something called BIDMAS, BIDMAS, and B and I are the most important things. They're the first things we must sort out. So I've got a kind of podium here for, the Olympics or something like that. B and I must be resolved first. So that B stands for brackets and I stands for indices. So that's squaring or even square rooting and things like that. So brackets and indices, they're the first thing that we must resolve. Then the second place is division and multiplication, D and M, division and multiplication. And then the last thing we must resolve is addition and subtraction. Okay. Let's have a look at B now. It says where operations are on the same level, you must work from left to right. So when you have both brackets and indices, you must work from left to right. When you have both division and multiplication, you must work left to right. And where you have both addition and subtraction, you must work left to right. C, underline the operation you're looking to resolve first. Okay, so let's have a look at this one here, this first one here. Question 1, we'll call this 6 plus 4 times 8. So if I follow the hierarchy, I must do multiplication before addition. So I'm going to underline 4 times 8. This here is the first thing I must resolve, 4 multiplied by 8. Then the next thing it says is to use lines of working with results written below the operation and everything not resolved remaining in the same place. So let's go ahead and resolve 4 times 8, which is 32. So I'm going to write 32 below this operation. So now this 4 times 8 becomes 32. That is it being resolved. So now I don't need to write 4 times 8 anymore, but I do need to write everything that I have not resolved. I've not resolved this addition, so that must stay in the same place. I've not resolved this 6, so this 6 must stay in the same place. That's all I've got left. And now, quite simply, I have 6 plus 32. It's the only operation left, so of course I'm going to do that. E says repeat step C and D until everything is resolved. Quite simply here, I've got 6 plus 32 left over. And then I will write an equal sign to the left of my answer. So to the left of my answer, I write an equal sign. I'll do 6 plus 32, which is 38. And then I'll check it. So am I happy with 4 times 8 is 32? Yes. 6 plus 32 is 38. Yes, I'm happy. I've checked it. And I'll double underline my answer. So E and F has been resolved there. So you notice that there is this funneling feel or look to what's going on. It starts wide, and then as we work through, we get to a single answer at the bottom. So let's have another look at the same method, but with a slightly more complicated question. We now have division, multiplication, subtraction. We have some brackets and we have addition. We must resolve this in the order of operations. So with BIDMAS in the right order. So do I have any brackets or indices? Yes, I have some brackets. So I'll underline my 3 plus 5 in brackets. That's the first thing I must resolve. So 3 plus 5 is 8. Everything else that I haven't resolved stays in the same place that it is. So a minus, a 9, a times, a 3, a divide sign, and a 12. And now, if I have a look, I've got division, multiplication, and subtraction left. And I have a division and multiplication. These are on the same level. So I must work left to right. I can't do 3 times 9 first. I must do 12 divided by 3 first because it's on the left-hand side. So I'll underline my 12 times 3. Sorry, 12 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. I then must write down everything I haven't resolved. Okay, the next one I have multiplication and subtraction left, so I must do this multiplication here. 4 multiplied by 9 is 36. I'll then keep the minus 8. So now I have one thing to resolve, so I can know I'm going to write my answer afterwards. 36 take away 8 gives me 28. And I can check my answer, so I can think, did I do 3 plus 5 correctly? Yes, it's 8. Is everything else there? Yes. Then I can think I did 12 divided by 3, that is 4. And then I did multiplying by 9, 36. Yes, and then 36 take away 8, 28. So that's me checking through my answer before I'm happy with it and double underlining my answer. We'll do one last example here. So in question 3, and you can see it's much more complicated than the others, but we're still just following the methods. Okay, so the first thing is we understand the order of operations. So are there any brackets or indices first? So I can see that there's a set of brackets here and there's indices here. Remember, if they're happening on the same level, then we work left to right first. So we'll do this one first. Now, I can see inside this bracket that there is actually multiple operations going inside the bracket. So I know I have to resolve the bracket first, but I also have to resolve what's in the bracket in the correct order as well. So I have addition and multiplication, and I know that multiplication gets resolved before the addition. So I must do 3 multiplied by 10 first. So 3 multiplied by 10 is 30. I haven't resolved the plus, I haven't resolved the 8, I still haven't resolved the brackets entirely, and everything else will stay as well. Then I know I must resolve the rest of this bracket, so 8 plus 30 is 38, and doing 38 here means that I lose the brackets, I've just got 38, and everything else stays in there because I haven't resolved any of that. And now if I have a look, I've lost the brackets, so I now know I must resolve the indice. Now then, resolving the indice doesn't have anything to do with any of the other operations. So it's 4 squared. It's not 2 times 4 and then square it, because that would be doing the multiplication before the indice. I must do the indice first. So 4 squared, I know, is 16. I then keep everything I haven't touched as it is. So I've resolved the indice. I've now got subtraction, multiplication, and addition. I know that multiplication happens before the addition and subtraction. 2 multiplied by 16 is 32. I'll keep the add, I'll keep the 6, I'll keep the 38 and the subtract sign there. Now I'm left with subtraction and addition. And if it happens on the same level, addition and subtraction on the same level, I must work from left to right. So I must do this one first. 38 take away 32 is 6. I then have 6, and this add 6 remains. So 6 plus 6 I know is 12. That will give me my answer of 12. I can check through. Am I happy that I did 3 times 10 correctly to get 30? Yes. Am I happy I did 30 plus 8 to get 38? Yes. Am I happy I did 4 squared to get 16? Yes. Am I happy that I did 2 times 16 to get 32? Am I happy that 38 take away 32 to give me 6? That's correct. And then 6 plus 6 is 12. So I'm just checking at each level, making sure I'm happy with my answer. And there we have it. Order of operations.